Good morning, students. Our topic this morning is all about solution of quadratic equation by factoring. In quadratic equation, we have four solutions. First, we have solving quadratic equation by factoring. Then number 2, solving quadratic equation by subtracting the square root. Then number 3, solving quadratic equation by completing the square. Then the last one is solving quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. Then let us take up this one by one. Then the first subtopic, we have solving quadratic equation by factoring. An important property of 0 as a factor is that if the indicated product of 2 or more factors is 0, at least one of the factors is equal to 0. In quadratic equation, we have two elements or two roots. Okay, so if a quadratic equation can be reduced to the form of ax squared positive bx positive c, where ax plus bx positive 3 is factorable, then the equation can be solved by factoring. Okay, so the rules, we have here the rules to be followed in solving quadratic equation by factoring. So rule number one, transform the given equation to the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So ax squared plus bx plus c, this is the standard form of quadratic equation. Then rule number 2, factor the left member of the equation. Then number 3, equate each factor that contains the variable to 0. Then we have number 4 rule, solve each resulting equation obtained in step 3. Then we have last is check and the given in the original equation. Okay, so example, x squared negative 6x equals negative 8. So this equation, first, you have to write it in the standard form of the quadratic equation. So we have here x squared negative 6x positive 8 is equal to 0. You might be confused why the positive negative 8 it becomes positive 8. So when you transpose, the sign will be changed. Okay, so after that, you have to find the factor. Then what is the factor of x squared negative 6x? Then positive 8 is equal to 0. Okay, so we have write two adjacent parentheses. Write two adjacent parentheses is equal to 0. So x and x, then find the two factors of 8 whose sum is negative 6x. Okay, so we have here negative 4 and positive 2. So x, this is now the two factors of x squared negative 6x, then positive 8 is equal to 0. Okay, so we have, after that, we have to equate the resulting factor to 0. Okay, we have here x negative 4 is equal to 0. Then we have the first root or the first element is x is equal to positive 4. Then next is x positive 2 is equal to 0. Then we have x is equal to negative 2. So this is now the second element or the second root. Okay, checking. Last rule. Okay, checking. In checking, you have to use the original equation. The original equation is x squared negative 6x, then we are equals to negative 8. Okay, so we have substitute the value of x. Okay, so that is x squared negative 6 multiply it by positive 4, then is equal to negative 8. Then square 4. What is the square of 4? So therefore the square of 4 is 16. So 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Then negative 6 multiply it by positive 4. So the answer is we have positive or negative 24 is equal to negative 8. Then after that, combine positive 16 plus negative 24. So the answer is we have negative 8 is equal to negative 8. So they are equal. Okay. Then next, another example. Another example. Okay, example number 2. Open quantity x positive 2, then closed quantity squared is equal to 0. Okay, so this example, this is the example of perfect square trinomial. Okay, perfect square trinomial. Then first you have to square. Okay, so we have x positive 2 multiply it by x positive 2. So that is x times x is x squared. Then positive 2 multiply it by positive x, that is positive 2x. Then positive x multiply it by positive 2, so we have positive 2x. Then 2 times 2, that is positive 4. Then add, okay, that is x squared, positive 2x, positive 4x. Then we have positive 4. Okay, then, okay, so write it in the equation. That is x squared, positive 4x. Then we have positive 4 is equal to 0. Then find the factor. No? Find the factor of x squared positive 4x positive 4. Then first write two adjacent parentheses. Then equal to 0. That is x and x. We have positive 2 and we have positive 2. Then equate the resulting factor to 0. So that is positive 2 is equal to 0. Then we have the first element is x is equal to negative 2. Then next, the second element, okay, we have here x positive 2 is equal to 0. So that is x is equal to negative 2. Then checking. Okay, checking. Okay, so use the original equation. The original equation, that is x squared, positive 2, then we have positive 4x. Positive 4x, then we have positive 4, then equals 0. Okay, so we have substitute the value of x, that is 2 squared plus 4x, 4 multiply it by 2, then plus 4 is equal to 0. Then we have negative 2. Negative 2. Okay, so negative 2 multiply it by negative 2, that is positive 4. Then we have negative 2 multiply it by positive 4. The answer is negative 8. Positive 4 is equal to 0. Then we have positive 4 and negative 8, that is negative 4. Then positive 4 is equal to 0. Then negative 4 plus negative 4 is equal to 0. So they are equal. So example number 3, x squared negative 5x positive 6 equals 0. Then find the two factors of x squared negative 5x positive 6 is equal to 0. So we have two adjacent parentheses. So we have here x is equal to 0. X and x, we have negative 3 and we have negative 2. Okay. Then equate the resulting factor to 0. So x negative 3 equals 0. Then we have here x negative 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so we have the first element, the value of x is equal to positive 3. Then the second element, the value of x is equal to positive 2. Then checking. Alright, the original equation that is x squared negative 5x, then we have positive 6 is equal to 0. Okay, then substitute the value of x. So we have 3 squared negative 5, multiply it by 3, then positive 6 is equal to 0. The square of 3 is 9. So 3 times 3, 9. Then negative 5, multiply it by positive 3, so the answer is negative 15. Then we have positive 6 is equal to 0. Then we have positive 9 and negative 15, so we have negative 6. Then we have positive 6 is equal to 0. Then add negative 6 plus positive 6, the answer is 0, then equals 0. For the example number 4, x squared negative x negative 20 equals 0. So this equation is in the standard form of quadratic equation. Then write the two adjacent parentheses. Okay, so find the two factors of x squared negative x negative 2, negative 20, whose sum is negative x. So that is x and x. Well, x and x, this is now the factor of x squared. Then we have negative 5 and positive 4. Okay, so after that, equate the resulting factor to 0. So x negative 5 equals 0. Then we have here x positive 4 equals 0. Okay, so the first element or the first root is x is equal to positive 5. Then the second element, we have here x positive 4 is equal to 0. So that is x is equal to negative 4. Okay, checking. So checking. So we use the first element. The value of x is 5. So x squared negative x, then negative 20 equals 0. Okay, so we have the value of x is 5. Then negative. Okay, so negative 5. We have negative 20, then equals 0. So the square of 5 is 25. 5 times 5, the product is 25. Then we have negative 5, then negative 20, then equals 0. Then 25 minus 5, that is positive 20. Then we have negative 20 is equal to 0. Then add positive 20 plus negative 20. So we have 0 is equal to 0. So example number 5. X squared positive 8x equals 9. So this equation, first you have to write it in the standard form of quadratic equation. So that is x squared positive 8x. Then we have negative 9 is equal to 0. Then after that, find the two factors of x squared positive 8x negative 9 equals 0. So we have the two adjacent parentheses is equal to 0. So that is x and x. Then we have positive 9 and x is equal to negative 1. Okay. Then after that, equate the resulting factor to 0. So we have here x positive 9 equals 0. So the first element or the first root is equal to x is equal to negative 9. Then next, we have here x negative 1 is equal to 0. The second element is x is equal to positive 1. Then checking. Okay, so we use the first element. That is, the value of x is negative 9. So x squared positive 8x then equals 9. So the value of x is negative 9 squared, then positive 8 multiply it by negative 9 is equal to 9. So the square of negative 9, okay, that is positive 81. Then we have multiply 8 times negative 9, that is negative 72, is equal to 9. Then 81 minus 72, that is 9, then equals 9. Our activity for week 1, okay, solve each quadratic equation using factoring. Then write it in a yellow pad paper.